It's Wednesday, September 15th. Coming up live on The View. They're casting their votes in Hot Topics. From the Tea Party winning big in yesterday's primaries, to why more celebs are saying ta-ta to Twitter, and why Sherry has her backup about being a bridesmaid at her famous friend's wedding. Plus, Patricia Heaton's telling you about teaming up with her old TV mother-in-law for the season premiere of The Middle, and the major mommy mistake she made this summer. Then, Tony winner Patti LuPone's telling all about her steamy love affair with a Hollywood leading man. Which A-list movie and TV star she said hurt her. And looking back at one of the most unforgettable moments of the classic show Life Goes On. All that, Hot Topics and more, coming up live on The View.
Today's the day they give medication to the audience.
Everybody! Do you guys feel like we're doing a Christmas show or something?
We're a little glittery, the two of us. And you're wearing pearls. It's very femme today.
And very bright red. I mean, it feels like...
This is the last time you're going to see it, now that you noticed it.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Don't look. Don't notice. Anyway, Sherry, your good friend, our good friend, Niecy Nash, is getting married. But there's something that's kind of irritating. And not you pissed about it, but you like a little irritated.
I'm concerned, yeah. Yes. Niecy, you see how sexy, voluptuous she is. She's getting married, and she called me the other day, and she said, I want you to be one of my bridesmaids. So I'm excited that I'm a... But then she says, and look, diva, we're going to have bridesmaids dresses. I'm thinking about doing backless. And I'm like, okay, do you know I have back fat? And I just don't understand.
Ask her?
Yeah, she said, well, we might do front cleavage and back cleavage depending on how I feel.
She wants you sexy.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't feel comfortable, and it's gonna be hard holding flowers knowing I got all these little cuts that are not muscular in my back.
What about the boobs? You could trip over them and hurt yourself.
I don't mind them doing a little cleavage for the
you
boobs.
really have to do what the bride says for the most part.
I know, but the brides, they always have this power on their wedding day. They get to make you look like...
Why do they have this power?
Because it's their day.
You could say, no, I don't want to be your bridesmaid and be in your dress.
Well, I don't want it's Niecy's day, and I love Jay, who she's getting married to, so I want to be there for her. Plus, she's got some...
So you don't have no problem. You don't have a problem with the back fat.
You're going to look fantastic.
You either accept the fact that now you could dress it up.
I'm going to ask Niecy if I can maybe put a scarf.
You could ask her now, Niecy.
Niecy, can I wear a scarf?
No, you can't wear a scarf.
It'll stick out. She wants everybody to look the same.
She wants them to all look uniform.
You can get out of it.
You gotta give her what she
wants. Tell her you slept with the groom. That'll get you right. That'll get you out of it and like that, baby.
And out of the wedding.
No, she's got cute, really, really good-looking groomsmen.
Oh, so that's good.
So what's the issue?
Well, the issue is just, I think, I have a lot of bridesmaids dresses because I've been in a lot of weddings, and in various forms, it's always been you have to cater to the bride, and you're not quite comfortable, and because they always tell you can wear the dress to a different function, and you never can with the big ruffles
Would you rather have something totally dowdy or super sexy though? Super sexy. If the guys are going to be there, wear the sexy thing.
Who's the maid of honor?
The maid of honor is her girlfriend, but she's sexy. I'm probably the plumpest in the bunch.
You're gonna be
some
great.
lace on, on the straps, so it sort of covers the
little
fat.
When's the wedding?
It's in May.
You can lose the back fat by May.
I don't know if you can lose the back fat. I don't know how you do that. I mean, it's like a breast.
No, you lose everything when you go on a diet.
You just secretly get it altered so it works for you.
I don't know. I don't have to deal with back fat. I got booty fat to hang with. Listen, speaking of back fat, more people are getting their backs up about the imam behind the proposed Ground Zero mosque. Now, a former associate of his has been linked to the 9/11 Truth Movement, which believes that the U.S. government was behind the 9/11 terror attacks. And yesterday, a lawsuit was filed alleging that the imam is also a slumlord. So, I'm more upset because, frankly, I know lots of people that believe a lot of stuff that I don't believe, and I'm fine with them. But what really has me irritated is the possibility of this man not taking care of his tenants and being a slumlord.
Bed bugs and stuff.
To me, that's worse than almost anything.
I think
both being
kinda
a
hard
slumlordy
to-
and thinking that the U.S. is responsible for 9/11 could be equal.
He doesn't think that the person he knows.
Both of those thoughts, separate from the person who holds them or people who hold them, are not okay in my book. But his friend. But here's the deal: like, you could work with someone and not necessarily know they hold beliefs that would be similar to someone that is a truther or a birther. You may not know. The question should be asked: how well do you know this person? What do they believe? Did you know it? Do you agree with them? But the problem is, yes, that's the question that should be asked, and questions that should be asked to this associate or former associate. But will they be asked? And that's what needs to happen.
Why should they be asked?
Will people stand up and ask the questions?
I mean,
but they have a right to know. I think you have a right to get information, and if the information is not being delivered to the American people,
in politics has friends of the. I mean, the Bushes were very friendly with the Saudis, and the Saudis were the 9/11 hijackers. Were from Saudi Arabia. You know, I mean, you always talk about Obama and the Reverend Jeremiah Wright. Well, those are associations.
Are you a truther?
I'm giving you a couple. Those are documented. I'm just saying, people have friends in all different places.
But do you have a right to know who they are?
That's why I'm on The View every day.
Do you have a right to know? I think, the problem is that people may throw this under the rug.
Do you hold that against him? But
Not
because what I
the
say
answers to those questions. I don't necessarily know that he knew that this guy believes what he believes.
Well, in addition to your point, I think with the slumlord thing, if you are a slumlord, to me, if you want to build a mosque because you're talking about compassion amongst religions and amongst people, but then if you're not practicing that same thing and taking care of the tenets that you have, then it kind of says a little hypocritical. You know,
it's a huge question. You know, if it's alleged, you know, and both of these things are alleged, and we want to make sure that we're saying allegedly, supposedly.
It's just hard because it's a hot button issue, and it's a pressure point, and it's something that affects a lot of people across this country and the entire world. So I hope the right decisions are made, and I'm not even sure what those are.
You know what? I mean, the right decision, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, and hold on to your emails, okay?
Like you read them.
I don't. But to me, it's, if you're saying to me, because this is a religion that is associated with terrorism, I'm going to believe everybody in the religion is a terrorist. It's too difficult. So we have to hold the same ideas for the Catholic Church or the Baptist Church.
We have to make sure we don't.
So we have to really figure out where we're at, because you know there are 60 families who were Muslim who lost their family members as well. So there's so much around it, and man, the fact that there were protests on 9/11 really also irritated me. I thought, you know what? I don't have time to listen to your side or your side.
But
this is about the people that lost their lives. That's why we're coming together. And y'all, the fact that y'all are fighting in the streets, you kiss my butt, get out of here.
Distracting.
Get out of here. It's horrible. You know? But you know what? You know, this is not on the same lines, okay? So let's take a total, like, apparently, a lot of celebrities are leaving Twitter.
Stop it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, I'm a wreck over this.
Okay. John Mayer, who had over 3.5 million followers, shut down his account Monday. Demi Lovato says she's stopping. Miley Cyrus, Amanda Bynes. Bynes.
The 12-year-old who retired.
She retired and then she unretired. When she got a movie. Yeah.
She came out of retirement.
Amanda Bynes, a 20-year-old something, and she retired from acting. Then I think she booked a movie and she unretired again.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, a lot of celebrities, I think what the problem is, you know, it's a way for people to get up close and personal to you if you're a celebrity. Where I think people go wrong with celebrities is you start, when people criticize you, because they can do that on Twitter, you start answering them back and you get into these little...
Why do you answer them?
You don't answer them back.
Here's my question. People on Twitter can have other people following their conversations, right? You talk to somebody...
Yeah, like the entire conversation you had about Niecy, about her wedding and dress and back fat. And
followed that.
I followed that. I was watching her have the conversation on Twitter.
So people can watch you talking to other people?
Yes. Like, I had a midnight conversation with Meghan McCain because we both couldn't sleep. And we were talking about, Meghan says, I'm better than a booty call.
I saw that, too.
Yeah, and so I'm tweeting that.
The weird thing is I'm watching them talking on Twitter.
But why? This is the thing. Why not just...
You shake your head. You're on Twitter.
Do it
just too public. Why not?
You know what? That's the thing. It's like people who blog. Yeah. It's a blog. It only in 140 characters or less. You just put down what you're thinking.
But why are you doing it publicly? That's the part I'm trying to understand.
You know what it is? It's just a habit. Let me give you an example.
Come on.
Tim and I are on the sofa, both on Twitter, okay?
Right.
I went to go direct tweet him. He's sitting right next to me. That's a problem. I went to go send my husband, who's sitting next to me on his laptop, a tweet.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's why do people blog? Why do people?
It's not the same as a blog because you're having a conversation with your friend or someone you know, whatever. You're having a conversation that I can watch you have.
Because I think when Megan and I tweeted, when we tweeted back and forth, I thought
public?
It's sometimes that people enjoy it. They like we share some
Shirley's a giver.
We had a great.
I have to tell you, I am
just
not.
Don't fight back with.
I am not on tweets. I'm not on a Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. I have no Facebook. And I'm saying this only because people keep coming up to me and saying, "Oh my God, did you get the thing I sent you?" Because there's someone out there who's using my name. Still. I am not on any of these things. Whoever that person is BSing y'all.
Yeah.
Okay?
And those
so
companies
don't
should
write to her. Somebody should protect me. They said they would. They haven't. They showed their behind. I'm showing mine. We will be right back with more Hot Topics. The Tea Party has scored some big victories in the primaries yesterday. Most surprisingly, Christine O'Donnell, who upset 9-term Delaware Senator Mike Castle. Now, she talked about the controversy surrounding her on GMA this morning. Take a look.
I wanted to make this race about the issue, how we're going to get jobs back in Delaware, how we're going to defend the homeland of our security, and she helped to bring it back on track.
Karl Rove, President Bush's former political advisor, was on Fox News last night, very tough, talking about your checkered background, saying you say some nutty things.
You know what? Yeah, everything that he's saying is unfactual, and it's a shame because he's the same so-called political guru that predicted I wasn't going to win. And we won big.
It's so great, isn't it? I love it.
You're excited about this.
No, but I have to point out a similarity. Look at her picture, Christine. There she is. And now look at this picture. Don't they seem... They're similar, right?
Here we go.
No wonder she supported her. She's right in the same genre. The hair's the same. They even smile the same.
No, this is enough of the characterization.
The Tea Party's got a younger model. Watch out, Sarah.
This is a problem because I think you go right into characterization of people. And look, what she said wasn't perfect. She made some slip-ups there. Strategically, though, for the Republican Party... If the goal is to reclaim seats in the Senate and get back on track, and they're not going to get behind the candidate who actually won in the primary, it's a problem. Of course they're not going to win. They might as well count that seat as a Democrat now because they're not putting their money and their votes behind her. She won fair and square. It's their problem to deal with now.
Do you think this Tea Party... is the third party that people have always been asking for? Why do we only have a two-party system? Is the Tea Party the new... Yeah, I mean, are we going to have a four-party system?
No, I think if it's a three-party system, there's a problem because all it does is splinter one of the parties. And then votes are split. They now have a candidate that they're not going to get behind. So just count it as a Democratic seat. What you should do if you want that change is put your money straight to her and make that vote count.
But what if they're concerned because, the gentleman that she ousted, she says he doesn't have the same... ideology as most Republicans.
He's more moderate than the Tea Party.
He's more moderate than and he's pro-choice and
he said he'd vote for that.
Yeah. So, do we as a country have to believe everything that our parties believe? Can we not have any?
You mean on one issue, maybe vote for this one or one issue?
Because it's like me. I own guns. Okay. I'm pro-choice. So can't we have... I mean, isn't that a good thing to have?
Unfortunately, it's very divisive right now, so you can't really do that. The moderate Republicans who might agree with own guns and also be pro-choice. Like this guy is getting overwhelmed by these the right wing, the extreme right wing.
Well, why does the voters count get dismissed as? I mean, obviously it's their choice right now. That's who they wanted. That's the candidate that won in the primary. I don't understand why then the Republican Party doesn't support the result of the vote.
But haven't they been
because they don't think they can win. That's why.
Well, they're definitely not going to if they don't support their candidate.
There seems to be a lot of.
I just want to ask because I don't because I can't tell the difference between the Tea Party and the Republican Party. Who are these people?
The Tea Party is
not a party.
They're not a party. Although it's because they call it the Tea Party. It sounds like when the Tea Party is more like a generator behind certain candidates. So they'll get behind certain candidates and raise money for them, whereas they maybe wouldn't get it someplace else. They're more like a renegade group that's kind of pushing candidates forward. They have power. Obviously, we just saw this happen. I mean, but to say she won't win, don't discount. We saw what happened with Scott Brown in Massachusetts.
Are they a little rebel branch from the Republican?
Kind of.
They don't take on social issues, which is interesting.
They just don't believe in any government at all. Zero.
At
the same time, that's fascinating about them. At the same time that they don't believe in any government, a lot of them are like, don't touch my Medicare. Well, what do you think that is? That's the schism within the Tea Party.
Where that actually comes
my
from
Social Security.
Well, the problem
get the government out of my house. Come on.
It's a different issue because what's going to happen now with the tax increase is it actually is going to affect senior citizens more than anybody else right now.
It is not an increase.
Let me tell you something. It is going to be an increase, and they are changing the terms.
Stop saying it's an increase because it's not.
Okay, we'll talk in January.
The Democrats want to eliminate the tax cuts for the rich. That's all. Stop doing that.
They're changing the lingo, so guess what? All senior citizens are going to end up paying the price on this tax, and it's a crime in this country.
I don't know. I think
if you don't make over, wait a minute, if you don't make over $250,000, you're not going to have tax raising.
It's going to actually come from the stocks that they hold in dividends. So when you look at it, you're going to see what's going to happen. It's changing it. They're changing all terminology. It's not because they own the most in dividends than anyone else.
Because this is an issue that's a hot button. But you know what? The Q scores. The Q scores. I know y'all don't know what I'm talking about. But that's all right. Because the Q scores, thank you, company released the list of the most hated athletes in professional sports. Topping the list was Michael Vick, followed by Tiger Woods, Terrell Owens, Chad Ochocinco, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. Now, what the heck?
Yeah, Ochocinco is so nice. I love Ochocinco.
James, I mean, he cheated on Cleveland. He didn't cheat on his wife, and they penalized him for that.
You're right for that.
But what he did to Cleveland, people hold grudges against sports, against athletes for years down through generations.
Yeah.
The way he did Cleveland, he fulfilled his contract, but he hurt those people.
No, he didn't. He played hard for them, and they didn't win a championship. He made the decision anybody else would have made.
He made a decision that lots of people make. Lots of people see you and your boyfriend, you walking down, they see, listen, what a fabulous couple. They don't know at home. He's peeing in the corner. He's leaving chips all over the floor. They don't know that.
Bed bugs.
What a cute couple. And then when you leave him, they say, why did you leave him?
Yeah. Well, it shows in the Q.
You know? Well, you know what? The Q is the Q.
Dwayne Wade's Q score down.
The Q is the Q until he does something that people like. Okay. That's the way of our nation. They hate you till you do something that makes that particular group happy, and then your Q goes back up. Trust me, this I know.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more Hot Topics. You were hanging out with your child, the fabulous Grace.
Yeah, we were hanging
out. She had her uniform on?
Yeah, we're getting ready for school. It's the third day, and so,
she wears a uniform.
Yeah, she wears a uniform, and so she's got it on the elevator.
What does it look like?
I'm not telling you.
Looks like the one she wears.
It looks like, the normal kind, bib, whatever it is.
That's right.
So we're in the elevator, and some of her best friends come in, and one of my best friends walks in the elevator with their daughters, and, they're talking, but they got their backpacks on, talking, and the girls ask her, why do you have to wear that uniform? And Grace is sitting there clutching her backpack, and she's just kind of nods. I said, this is what she wears at school, because I'm not there yet to give some deep answer. I just thought, this is what she wears to school, practical and true. Elevator goes down, doors open, and I see Grace there, and she said, why do I have to wear this uniform? And I see her just peer out from under her headband, and I thought, you know, that's a really good question. And I wore one when I was little, and I said it's a great thing to do. When you get to school, you wouldn't want to be there and not have your uniform on.
Well, yeah.
And then you get to come home and change into your play clothes, and it's a really nice uniform. And I thought it was just one of those things that when you're trying to explain to your kids why something isn't just like their friends, and we're sort of getting into that phase where
I think I would have gotten beaten up less if I were wearing a uniform when I was a kid.
Beaten up?
They hated my outfits in my neighborhood.
Tell them about the shorts.
I used to wear Bermuda shorts. I looked like a postman.
Why were you wearing Bermuda shorts?
Because that's what
we
they wore in the 50s.
Yeah, I would tease you, girl.
It wasn't like she came out last weekend.
Here's what I like the uniform, because I think, like, no matter what you had or didn't have, it didn't really matter. You know, when I went to school and had the uniform on, and we didn't have a ton of cash, and it was fine. You know, it was like the same as everybody else.
I think they really should put in uniforms in schools, that should be required, because when I was going to school, my parents didn't have a lot of money, and I would see these girls in their little, you know, these jeans and the Gloria Vanderbilt this and that, and I felt really insecure because they would tease you. And if you have a uniform, everybody is the same. It totally levels the playing field. You don't have to worry about all that.
I wore a uniform. Yeah, but I hated it. I hated it.
Uniform?
Yeah, I did hate the uniform because I felt that I didn't want to have to look like everybody else all the time. But the good response, one you might try on her, is that because of the school you go to, that's what they require. That's what. That's
I love something a little different, like the little bow in her hair, little accessory, little.
It's really good for girls.
Sweet in their own style.
Girls in these days, I sound like an old person now, but these days there's too much obsession with clothing and bling and the bags.
It's always been
too much money.
It's always been there. But let me ask you:
this.
Do you think that happens with houses too? Just a quick question to you. Yeah. Do you go look at open houses?
Yeah, I love open houses.
And do you look at people's stuff?
I don't look in their stuff, but I like to see how people live. I like to look at the pictures and go, what do they do? What do you know?
You're not buying?
Yeah, she's not going to buy the house. So you just go to look.
I like to see I like to go to the big houses. Like in L.A., I went to Bel Air and Pacific Palace.
You cannot come to my house.
Are you like a chronic? I'm a chronic because I just...
And do you go to open houses and stuff too?
I do. In the Hamptons, I've gone to a few. Yeah, just to see how they live.
How they live. Big ones. How much money they got.
See, I can't handle how other people's houses smell. I don't go to them.
You don't?
No. Because it's like, whoa.
You got a sensitive nose.
I have a very sensitive nose, and it's like, I cannot stay here. Except if they're, well, never mind. You know, when we go, which we're doing right now.
Who knows what's on her mind?
You know. If it smells like there are people I would know, because they have a certain odor in the house.
Okay. You mean marijuana?
I'm not saying anything. Listen, you know what? I'm not speaking to y'all anymore. We're going to go and come right back, and we're coming back with Patricia Heaton.
Patricia Heaton kicks off the new season just like millions of moms across America by trying to get the kids to the first day of school. Take a look.
We cannot be late for the first day of school. Let's go, let's go. Where is Axel? Brick, go get your brother up.
Axel, get up.
Did you brush your teeth?
Sorry, I guess I'm out of the habit from summer.
Here, rinse and spit. Where are my school supplies? Mike, where are the school supplies?
I don't know. You said you were going to steal some from work.
I've taken too much. Ellert is on to me. This is just not a good way to start my first year on cross country.
We got a bowling pencil and a paper clip. That's all you need for first day.
Oh, Rick, you left a sandwich in here from last year. That's disgusting. And you got an A on your I Love Winter paper. Good job.
Please welcome back Patricia Heaton.
Ran into you the other night at La Cage aux Folles with your husband.
Seeing my buddy Kelsey, who's the star of the show, and it's just great to be back in New York. And I had such a New York experience when I got here.
Yeah.
we were at this little hotel. My husband and I were having a little mini moon, we call it, because we have not realized we haven't been alone together for 2 years.
Wow.
2 years with the kids. Yeah, we're always with the kids, which we love. But we thought maybe we should talk to each other because the kids will be gone and we should see if we still like each other. So, but anyway, we go to New York and the doorman, you know, gets us out of our cab and his voice sounds familiar to me. I said to my husband, I think I know him. And I go up to him, I said, is your name Manny? And he said, yeah. And I said, we used to work together in room service at the Park Meridian Hotel. And he's like, Patty? And I'm like, yeah. And he said, it's so good to see you. Remember when we went to the Stevie Wonder concert together? And I'm like, yeah. And he said, so what are you doing? Are you still acting?
Well, that's nice.
That was so great. And I said to him, once in a while. I said, did you ever watch Everybody Loves Raymond? He goes like, yeah. I said, I played Ray's wife. And the look on his face.
That was you?
Yes, he's like, you made it! That's a great story. 27 years ago, we worked together. Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And everybody watches everything. You know?
You mean it's not all about me?
No, but the fact that you remembered him, that says something. That's a wonderful thing, too.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Watching The Middle, I think every mom can relate to that story. That's why we love The Middle.
And Frankie is not even as bad as I am. Do you know what happened this summer?
No.
I send my kid to summer camp. First time he goes away, sleepover camp. 3 weeks, it's a music camp. He practices music, all they do, every day for 3 weeks. Okay. And so I have it all planned out. Okay, Sunday night, at the end of the 3 weeks, is the big concert. The whole family's driving up to Lake Arrowhead. It's a 2.5-hour drive from where we live, and we're all going to see it. Saturday night, I drop my kid off at a bar mitzvah, and then my husband and I are going to go out to dinner. And I get a call from John up at the camp. Hey, Mom, where are you? I'm just dropping Joe off at the bar mitzvah. He said, you going to get here in time for the concert? I said, it's tomorrow, right? He goes, no, it's like in 5 minutes. 3 weeks he's been practicing this music.
What did you do?
I'm in a dress. I called my husband and said, I'm driving up to Arrowhead right now. Oh, and the other thing was, it was the last day of camp. I had to go and get him because of the...
And it was 2.5 hours away.
Yes, and he said, you're going to make it? I said, I'm going to try. I couldn't even tell him that there's no way I was going to make it. I drove and drove and drove and drove. I put on country music songs like, I'm the worst mother in the world. And he kept calling, are you here? Are you there yet? Are you there yet? I'm like, I'm not there yet. And finally, the concert's been over for hours. And he said,
there by himself?
He said, all the kids are gone, and the counselors are standing here waiting for you to come and pick me up. And so then I get another call. Okay, the counselors all went out to dinner, and they took them with me. So they took me with them. Can you meet us at the restaurant? They're probably saying they should just adopt him now because I'm too embarrassed to go pick him up.
You're not alone, baby.
You're not alone.
I've done that.
I couldn't believe. I felt sick to my
She
stomach.
had this trauma last year.
We got to take Grace to school.
The first day of school. It was fine. The teacher emailed me, "Where's Grace?" and it was traumatic, and I cried a lot. And depending on the day of the week and the time of day, you could be the worst or best mom. You know what I mean? You never know. But your character on The Middle, I could not love her more. And this episode is so, when she tries to get ahead of the game. And try to like get ahead of all the kids' schedules.
Listen, I had this bloody thing planned. I was like, it's Sunday night. We're all driving down to Arrowhead. You know, my husband's like, why would they have a concert on a Sunday night? We all have to work the next day. I'm like, I don't know. Isn't it crazy? Why don't they have it on a Saturday night? And Frankie is the same way. Yeah.
You know, and you have 3 other kids, which are 11, 13, 15.
Yes.
17. So 4 all boys. You do it.
Yes.
But I wanted to say congratulations on the 2nd season of The Middle.
Thank you.
You're coming back. You're so successful. And this is what I love. It's Doris Roberts, who played your mother-in-law for 9 seasons.
On Everybody Loves Raymond.
Everybody Loves Raymond. She is guest starring as your youngest son's teacher on The Middle.
Yes.
Let's take a look at Doris.
So you're here on the 3rd day of school to try to get your child some special attention.
Well, no, not special attention. But you see, he is, you know, a little special.
Let me tell you something, Mommy. Every parent thinks their child is special. They can't all be. That's impossible. I mean, some children are just average.
We know. That's our other 2 kids.
That's funny. You know what's so funny about Doris? Doris she's a little different. And from Everybody Loves Raymond, but she's still being mean to you.
Well, she's my nemesis. Whatever show we work on, so it's great.
You have also Betty White on your show.
And Betty White was on last year.
These two ladies look great. Are they having a lot of plastic surgery? Tell us.
And I would know.
Yeah.
Yes. No, go ahead. No, Doris side looks fantastic.
They both.
Yes.
They're both up there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
with grace. They're doing it with grace. That's what aging gracefully looks like.
That's right. That's right.
But the gentleman who plays your husband, because he is just magnificent. You guys together are fantastic.
Yeah, isn't it great? Because and what's interesting is Neil is not married and doesn't have children, and he plays the part so perfectly. But he has a great, he's from Chicago, and he has a great Midwestern, no nonsense sensibility, and I think that's what really works.
And you say he's not married, Sherry?
No.
I'm just saying.
Are you looking, Sherry?
Thank you. I love it.
Oh, okay.
She's looking for, aren't you looking for a surrogate? Maybe Patricia would like to accommodate.
Oh, girl, you carry my baby.
Oh, my dear. Not only is that
because when the wind blows, you get pregnant,
Patty. It's a little too late for that. I mean, the only surgery I had this summer is they had to put my bladder in a sling so I stopped wetting my pants. So that's what...
We know this, Patty.
And you know what? Brett, my makeup artist, said, don't ever mention that on TV.
We got the same problem, girl.
When you sneeze, it's a new world now.
There you go.
Man, it took us longer to shoot the show because I had to keep running out of the soundstage. Go, wait a minute, I gotta go.
Hey, we gotta go. We love you. You gotta come back. Thanks so much to Patricia Heaton. The second season of The Middle starts Wednesday, September 22nd at 8 p.m. right here on ABC. And everybody is going home with the first season on DVD. We'll be right back with Patti LuPone.
Patti LuPone in Evita.
That was Patti in 1980, winning her first Tony Award for Evita. But don't cry for me, Argentina, or Patti, because her hot new memoir is loaded with great dish about the stage and celebrities and sex and more. So please welcome Patti LuPone.
This is an interesting chair. It's like a baby chair.
Anyway, you are the multi-talented Patti LuPone. I mean, a lot of people know you from your TV show, Life Goes On. Remember that show? It was a great show.
I don't know if I missed it.
Very nice show.
I love that Becca.
But you also have starred in some extraordinary musicals. Besides Evita, there's Les Miserables, Gypsy. I saw you in that one, Sunset Boulevard, Sweeney Todd. And I understand from reading about you here that you fell in love with the stage when you were 4 years old.
Yes. My dad was principal of an elementary school and it started an extracurricular program.
There you are.
And the first recital, I fell in love with the audience. I thought everybody was looking at me, smiling at me, and I realized I couldn't get in trouble up there. And so I fell in love with the audience. I just looked out there, and it was a thunderbolt. I went, this is where I belong, and I never looked back. It was just that's what it was.
You continued with that. After high school, you attended Juilliard, which is a very prestigious school, and there you met and fell in love with Kevin Kline.
I did.
Now you guys dated on and off.
I never knew that.
Yes,
you did. You're the only one in the USA that doesn't know that.
They were together. You guys were on and off for 7 years.
Yeah.
You and Kevin Kline.
Yeah.
So can I ask you? You were on and off for 7 years. How come you guys broke up so many times? And why was it your first love?
Well, I think it's you had a first love. Everybody, how can you explain that? You have a first love.
Mine is dead, but that's all right.
Did you kill him?
He happens to be dead. What can I tell you?
You can't maintain her innocence.
But you were on and you were off.
Yeah, well, I think we were young and we were actors, and there was and Kevin was a very beautiful man, and there were lots of
Still
women.
is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there were lots of women, I'm sure, that still love him. And Kevin sort of took advantage of that while we were together. So
That makes for a complicated relationship.
It's an actor's folly. It's what actors do. That's what they do. It's like, you like me? Okay, come here.
well, it's kind of like but he was terrific. You know, he was a terrific man.
Speaking of love, obviously audiences loved you in Evita, and you won your first Tony. I want to know the ending pose. How did that come about?
Oh, well, you know, I originated Evita in America, but Elaine Page originated the role in London, and she's the world premiere Evita, and she's English. And the end of the pose, end of the, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, was sort of like the Queen does. Do you know what I mean? And there were people telling me in rehearsal period, oh, Elaine did this and Elaine did that, and I said, stop telling me what Elaine did, because as an actor, I'm not going to be able to discover it. So the last person that said, oh, do that thing was the famed photographer Martha Swope when she took photos for the front of house in San Francisco. She said, oh, Patty, do that thing. And I went, I don't do that. I do this. And I'd never done it before. And I said, well, that must be what I do from now on in. Then they did a Life magazine article on Evita coming to Broadway and the real Evita Peron. Believe it or not, there was a picture of Evita Peron on the Casa Rosada like this. And I went,
You know, Patty, not that it's a bad thing, but you've been called a diva.
Yeah, I have been.
You have been called a diva because you refuse to go on stage unless everything is perfect. You trash your dressing room. Give us the dish here.
The trashing of the dressing room was when I was fired from Sunset Boulevard after months and months of devastating, months of being told that I wasn't going to be fired and dealing with press, not in England, but in America, dealing with devastating press in America, that I should be fired, that I am going to be fired, that when I was fired through Liz Smith's column. I didn't even get the courtesy of a
So
phone
Andrew
call.
Lloyd Webber didn't say anything
Not a word,
to you?
or really useful. We found out, I was in my dressing room getting ready for the show when my agent called and said, are you sitting down? Yes, you've just been fired. Excuse me?
Nobody
and it was in Liz Smith's column. And so that's when I took batting practice in the dressing room. But I just because it was months and months of it.
She's Italian, all right?
Exactly, thank you. But it was months and months of it. So I just took a floor lamp, trashed everything, and walked out the door and said, I don't know when I'm coming back.
That's what I would have done, too.
I know you would.
Yeah.
All of us would have.
But let's not talk about that man and his stuff. Let's not talk about him. Let's talk about something fabulous like Gypsy.
Yeah.
You were
She was great, man.
spectacular. I heard you every night because I was next door.
Of course you were.
Xanadu. Yes.
Of course you
so
were.
we would hear Rose's turn. Everything stopped for Rose's turn. You know, we'd be singing, but we'd be singing like this because we'd be listening. Just so fabulous.
Thank you. Thanks.
How long had you wanted to do Rose?
Well, I guess I didn't want to do it when I was a kid. When the first production I was in, I didn't want to do it because she was kind of weird to a kid, you know, this. And Kathy Sheldon, who played it, was this wonderful, tall, strange girl. So I wasn't interested in Rose. I think in later years when everybody said, you should really play Rose, you should really play Rose, that I went, oh, okay, I guess I should be playing Rose.
Right.
Then all of a sudden I wanted to play Rose, and then I was denied it.
Right.
Then all of a sudden it happened. And then I understood why people wanted me to play it.
Well, I have to tell you, baby, you slapped the poo out of that role. You slapped the poo out of that role. Okay? Listen.
It was a one-of-a-kind performance.
We love this woman.
I
and
love you,
everybody in this audience, you get in the book. Okay? You getting the book. Thank you, Patti LuPone, and we'll be right back. You'll never know why I'm laughing. Have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy the view.
Come here.